Hey Joel, what are you doing? Taking up juggling?
Not really. Just playing with a couple of our props. A nice ear of corn, a gas can.
So this segment deals with corn and a gas can.
That's right. Corn and gas have a lot in common. You knew that, right?
Well, I've heard about ethanol and I know that it's made from corn, and since we have corn in our state, they must go hand in hand.
Hey, was that a joke about my juggling?
No, just a figure of speech. Making a point, you know.
Okay, I understand.
So, are you going to tell me more about corn and ethanol?
Actually, I'm not. We're going to hear that story from Colin, a young man outstanding in his field.
Hi, I'm Colin. Welcome to a Minnesota cornfield in late October. Across Minnesota, there are millions of acres just like this. What starts as a small seed planted in the spring grows during the summer to 7, 8, even 10 feet tall. In the fall, fields like this can be a corn maze, a fun thing for kids and families. But corn is way more than fun. When it's mature, every stalk of corn has a bright yellow ear. Each ear has from 500 to 700 kernels. Corn kernels are golden grain, used for lots of different things. Corn is made into thousands of food products, from corn chips to corn flakes. Corn is also made into corn syrup, a sweetener for pop, baked goods, and many more food products. Corn is made into corn starch, which goes into food, and industrial products like glue that holds boxes together. But one of the biggest uses for corn is for energy. Corn can be burned for heat or made into fuel for cars and trucks. Today we're going to tour a huge corn processing plant and see what goes on there. Come on, let's go. So here we are at the Granite Falls Energy Fuel Ethanol plant. Let's go in and take a look around. Now I'm here at the lab at the Granite Falls Energy Fuel Ethanol plant with plant manager Robin Spouty. Hey Robin.
Welcome to Granite Falls Energy.
Can you show me what you make here?
Sure. We're taking corn out of the field, receiving it in this stage. We grind it, we cook it, we add enzymes and yeast, and we convert that to alcohol or fuel-grade ethanol, as you see here. We also get a high-quality feed byproduct called dried Distillers grain, and we also get CO2 gas from our process.
Sounds great. Can I get a tour?
Sure. Let's go.
So Robin, what's this huge building right here?
This is our grain receiving building. This is where the corn is received either by rail or by truck. Corn that's received by truck is probed up by our admin building. When it gets back here, we can dump and it goes into temporary storage in our silos. The sound that you hear in the background is our hammer mills running, which grinds the corn into a fine flour that carries over to our process building to begin the ethanol treatment. After the corn comes across from the hammer mills, we put it into the slurry tank and we mix it with process water, and we start heating the mash compound up. We start adding the enzymes, cook it, goes over to a cook tube, add more enzymes, and we start breaking the starches down in the mash and getting the conversion process going to convert to sugar. This was the liquefied mash loaded with sugar, ready to get converted to alcohol.
You said you add yeast to the cooked mash. What does that do?
Okay, the yeast is added to the cooked mash, which is corn, to consume the sugar content in the corn to convert it to alcohol.
Sounds like there's a lot of work here. How do you get it all accomplished?
Well, we have a lot of automation here, and let's take a look in the control room and I'll show you. This is the heart of the plant, and these operators control everything that's going on in the plant. We happen to be looking at ethanol rail loadout here. These people can monitor everything going on, and if we have some issues, alarms will go off, and then we react accordingly.
Is this the final product?
Yes, this is the end result. When we bring the 190 proof back and dehydrate it, it becomes 200 proof alcohol, and we pump it back to the tank farm. We add denaturant, and it now becomes ethanol, and that's what gets mixed with gasoline for your car.
Okay, what are these big mounds of gold?
This is called dried Distillers grain, which is one of 3 ingredients that basically comes from grinding a bushel of corn. This is a very high quality feed for livestock. It's fed to dairy, beef, poultry, swine, and even aquaculture is starting to use this feed.
What's aquaculture?
Aquaculture would be the farming and raising of fish.
I bet this is great livestock feed. So where is this actually shipped to?
This product is basically going all over the United States. At the moment, it's going out to the West Coast. We've shipped a lot of this up into southern Canada, as far west as British Columbia. It's gone down the Mississippi River, down into the Louisiana area.
Wow, so it's just going all over the place?
It gets all over.
Cool.
Okay, Colin, so that's what our plant looks like.
Thanks for the tour, Robin.
Sure, you're welcome.
I've just got a couple more questions.
Sure.
How much ethanol can you get from 1 bushel of corn?
You can get approximately 3 gallons of ethanol out of a bushel of corn.
And I saw with the big cooling tanks that you're using a lot of water. How much water do you have to use to make ethanol?
Our plant uses less than 3 gallons of water to make a gallon of ethanol.
Wow, so not that much.
No, it's pretty lean, and we're always trying to improve the process.
And where do you get the water from?
Our plant is pulling its water primarily from surface water, which is the Minnesota River. We also have the ability to pull from our stormwater holding ponds here on site.
And then does the water go back to the Minnesota River?
The majority of the water that's used in this plant is used in cooling, and we lose about 2/3 of that to evaporation. But the utility water that's left over, we discharge back to the river. And it's actually cleaner than the water is when it comes out of the river.
Nice. Thanks for the tour today, Robin.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Back to you in the studio.
Wow, I didn't know that an ethanol plant was so big, and there was so much going on there.
It sure is amazing that companies can grind up corn, mix in some water, cook it, and come away with fuel for cars and feed for livestock.
And Joel, did you know that Minnesota is one of the leading states for ethanol production in the country? There are plants all across the southern part of the state, and quite a few in the west and west central area too.
That's right. The plants are actually located where corn is grown. They create jobs in those areas, and that's important for local economies. And the feed products made by those plants are used by livestock producers.
Oh, and don't forget this, Joel. Ethanol is mixed with gasoline not only in Minnesota but across the country. This mixture is called oxygenated fuel. It's better for the environment because cars that run on it have lower emissions out the tailpipe.
And some cars are also using a product called E85, which is 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline. This is a high-octane fuel that's used by flex fuel vehicles.
Like cars and trucks.
Absolutely. You'll be seeing more gas stations handling E85 in the future.
Minnesota is now using about 10% ethanol in its fuel. In 2007, Minnesota drivers used more than 295 million gallons of ethanol.
For an industry that just started back in the 1980s, ethanol has come a long way, and it looks like a bright future ahead.
Sounds to me like ethanol's in real fast company.
It sure is. Check this out. Did you know that ethanol is used in race cars?
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
And be sure to run your cars and trucks on homemade ethanol.
So long for now.